There's a few different versions out there as far as the dime normal strike 2 deep, as far as putting pressure on a quarterback. One of the most obvious ones would be just to go ahead and run the play as is, maybe call bump and run, and hopefully one of these two inside defensive backs could go ahead and apply pressure on a quarterback. And that's probably the most common way you'll wind up seeing this type of blitz being ran. We're going to go ahead and take a look at something here that allowed them to get inside pressure, at least B-gap pressure in a sense. We'll take a look at it. And this is something that Matura had sent in to me a while back as far as his concept. He had showed me on another particular defense. I can't remember which one. That one actually happens to be in the defensive video playbook. But the concept pretty much is the same thing as far as putting pressure on the quarterback, as far as getting inside pressure. And what you do is you wind up taking control of these two outside defensive ends, and what you're going to do is you're going to put these guys in D contain. So you can do that with that guy there and that guy there. So basically all I did was put the left end and the right end in D contain. And then what you're looking for is we're looking for one of these guys to wind up shooting through the B gap between the left tackle and the left guard, or in this case over here between the right tackle and the right guard. And what's going to wind up happening is these guys, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. What's going to wind up happening is this guy right here, which again is the left tackle, he's going to kick out to go ahead and block this guy, which is going to be the right end who's in D contain. And the same thing over here, this left end is going to be in D contain. Then this right tackle is going to look to kick out to go ahead and block him. And then what you're going to wind up having is a nice big gap for these guys to shoot through. So really they're not really shooting through, they're not really taking any different angle, but what they are doing is shooting through the B gap rather than through the C gap. And that's what you're going to see here. Now as far as the rest of the setup goes, I'm just going to go ahead and take control of this guy right here, which is the linebacker. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and hot route him the blitz. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I want to make sure that this center doesn't have any opportunity to drop back and block. What I want him to do is just to come out here and go ahead and block me. And since I'm in control of that linebacker anyways, as I've said before, a lot of times when I set up my blitzes, a lot of times I just go ahead and hot route the guy that I'm in control of. Then it's only in zone coverage. I always normally hot route that defender to go ahead and blitz, even though I'm not going to blitz him, because I'm just trying to go ahead and at least make one of those offensive linemen try to look to block me. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one and see what kind of pressure we're getting. And again, you just wind up dropping back into coverage with that guy, and you wind up getting inside pressure as far as B-gap pressure coming from the left side right here, which is what you're going to see. So let's go ahead and do that and kind of just look what happened there. And again, as I said before, this guy here, which is the left tackle, he's going to go ahead and kick out, and he's going to go ahead and look to go ahead and block this guy here, which is that right end. And then what you're going to wind up seeing is a nice big old gap right here for this guy right here to shoot through and apply pressure. Cool thing about this one again is I'm kind of shown throughout the theme this week as far as with the QB contain. Again, the quarterback really can't roll out that way, and he really can't roll out that way, and so you wind up getting pressure. And again, if you look over here, you kind of see that this other guy's shooting through, which is going to be this guy, which is if you're looking at your screen, he winds up being lined up on the right side of your screen, which is actually the left inside defensive back. And now he's going to wind up being blocked eventually by this right guard, but sometimes he isn't blocked, and if he isn't blocked, then you can definitely get that pressure on the quarterback from him as well. So you can kind of see how this defense works. And again, if you're looking at it as far as with me, I'm in control of that linebacker. Now I do realize that a quick bullet pass to this guy right here, so if your opponent was to go and throw a quick bullet pass, that could be an issue right there, obviously. That's the one thing about this defense. The only thing you could do with that, again, let's go ahead and set this up. You could do this, call bump and run, try to bring these guys up. If you do that, you may not have time to take control of that middle linebacker and hot route him to blitz. So keep that in mind. Now, don't forget, you can always hot route him to blitz by hitting the RB button or the R1 button and then down on the right stick to give him the blitz before you actually take control of him. But that's something else you could do to try to go ahead and prevent that quick pass to that slot receiver. But anyway, this one's pretty nice as far as bringing pressure on the quarterback. Matura, this is a nice little concept that you've shown. Again, I think I did this one from the dime normal DB back or defensive blitz or defensive back blitz or something like that, the one that I did in the defensive video playbook. But this concept is very similar to one that he showed me, and I hope that this is something that you can apply with this particular defense. I'm sure a lot of you guys already run this one, but hopefully this is one that maybe you haven't seen before, and it's something that you can definitely take a look at.